Hello everyone, today I wanted to talk about one subject that is affecting a lot of exile, which is the inflation of Divine Orb. I mean, as it could feel so because now you need to spend something like 240 Exalted Orb. It went up yesterday evening to get one Divine Orb. So in this video, I'm going to talk about three things: why I think this is happening, what I believe that you should do to avoid getting tricked by inflation. What I think you should do is you need to juice your map because now it's cheaper, you need to run higher content, and you need to probably ask KO versus Exalted for your gear. Now, if you just wanted to have the solution, you have it. If you're interested to understand why I think so, you can stay in the video. Okay, let's take a little bit more time now. So, as you know, in Path of Exile, since the beginning of the launch, we have been changing Exalted Orb for Divine Orb, and the price has been significantly changed through the beginning of the release to now. And not very long time ago, but something about like 10 days ago, for 100 Exalted Orb you get you had to have one Divine, and now you probably need 240. I think there is a lot of reason for that. One is probably the patch that is increasing the monster density, so you have more Exalted Orb, and as the player are getting better and better, know better the game, I think a lot of the players that are now playing Path of Exile 2, they have much better knowledge that when the release happened, because a lot of casual player, they stop the game, they are waiting maybe for the league or anything like this. So now people start juicing the map, and by juicing the map, you realize that you have a very strong return on investment. And as people are getting more Exalted Orb, the price of juicing the orb, of juicing the map is going to go down. So you drop a lot of Exalted Orb, more than what it used to be. Like raw Exalted Orb on maps, I think with the patch and with the fact that now people are juicing it, are going up. So you have more Exalted Orb, more than you need to juice your map or increase your gear. So overall, I think people less need Exalted Orb than they used to. The second reason I believe that the price of Divine are going up is that a lot of people right now, they are in the status of the game where the piece that they look for to improve their gear is not in Exalted Orb, it's in Divine. So what they do is that they gather Exalted Orb, they trade it for Divine, they stack the Divine, and when they get 4, 5, 10, 20, 40, they trade it for a massive piece of gear that is going to bring them upgrade. So Exalted Orb is really a mean to get a Divine, and a lot of people now request Divine to stack them and get this massive piece of gear that is going to provide them with a good upgrade. Now, what is very interesting is that the price of Chaos that requires to get a Divine is actually fairly stable. This has not moved that much compared to the Exalted. So now for Chaos, for 49 Chaos, you can get a Divine, 48 Chaos. So this hasn't changed as much as Exalted. So it's really the price of Exalted that is going down as people are dropping more of them. So that is leading to our solution to fight this inflation. And the option that I think about is that potentially going back to POE 1, you can try to list certain of your item in Chaos Orb. If you have items that are above 20, 30 Exalted Orb, potentially listing them as Chaos Orb is going to help you getting more Chaos that you know are not going to get devaluated as quickly as the Exalted Orb if the inflation continue to rise. So that is one of the options. The second option that I think about is to juice your maps as much as possible, because juicing your map is going to provide you with way more value than if you haven't done so. So juice your map. It's cheaper than ever because now the Exalted Orb price dropped relatively to everything, and it's going to provide you more of everything. So juice your map, and this is the first thing that I recommend to do. And the last thing you can do is to run higher content within the game. So what I used to do is I used to sell those bridge splinter, and I used to sell the simulacrum splinter. Now instead what I do is that I run them. And what happens is that potentially by running a simulacrum or running a breach at max level, because you see right now I have maxed in simulacrum and in breach, you have very nice loot that can drop. And those loot usually they sells for Divine. So you have a loot that is not going to be devaluated quickly because it sells for Divine. I think that farming high-end content is going to be the key to survive this inflation, because now a lot of people now are looking for those high-end content items. So I believe that the price is going to be stable or probably going to be increasing in the coming days. So having a main to get those high-end content to provide you divine that are not going to get devaluated is probably one of the best options to fight this inflation. And if you're not capable of cleaning the content that is extremely endgame, such as the breach with the twisted domain or the simulacrum, what you could do is potentially you remove certain of the atlas point to reduce the difficulty. If you are reducing the difficulty, maybe you can clean the level 79. You're not capable of cleaning the level 82, but maybe the 79 you can. So removing the twisted domain difficulty will probably help you getting the nice loot potentially at the end. On the twisted domain, there is the pair of glows that I dropped 2 or 3 times, and they are worth 4, 5, 6 divine depending on which one you get. So this is a very nice loot. On the simulacrum, you get the bottle of mana that I never managed to find. I had the helm for like 7 or 8 times, but I never get the bottle of mana. And this is 20 divine, so this is completely insane. And if you run simulacrum at the max level, you can also get the megalomaniac jewels, which is extremely powerful, and this, depending on what you get, can go up to multiple mirror. So this is completely insane. If you get a very good one, it can be completely crazy. I know that also on the ritual, you can get the ingenuity belt. Watch out with this, because the ritual, the audience with the kings is already selling for multiple divine, so you already get a good loot from the ritual that is worth divine. It's your choice if you want to gamble it to get even more through potentially dropping ingenuity. So, but I think ingenuity is something that is extremely strong because it benefits every single build within the game, and a lot of people will need it anyway. So having a good ingenuity is always going to be necessary for people. Regarding expedition, is not a content that I farm a lot, so I don't know what is very good with expedition, so I cannot comment on it. And regarding the Arbiter of Ashes, I know that the Grand Regala, I had one that was worth 33 divine, so potentially that could be another way. I just don't know the Arbiter of Ash well enough to be able to comment it, but I know that there is some items that are very good, and also you have potentially the chance of dropping valuable socket. I believe this is the last jowl increase that is giving you something like 2 or 3 divine. So there is potentially some interesting things to do with this thing. I just haven't tried and farmed this content yet. So to summarize this part, keep your splinter, and instead of selling them, you had them up to a certain level, and then you either unlock your atlas point. This is key to start farming. You need to unlock the atlas point, and then after you run the content and you hope for a big drop, and if you get this big drop, it's going to provide you way more value than selling the splinter. And this is true for delirium. Like I ran 3 or 4 delirium simulacrum recently, and in one I get this essence that was worth more than the simulacrum itself. Another one I got the perfect gel here, which was worth way more than the simulacrum. So there is value of running those high-end content, and there is the jackpot that if you get the piece of gear that it drops, then it's completely worth it. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please consider subscribing to my channel. As you see, it's a young channel and every sub counts for me. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next video.